What's the deal with first-person shooter games? That's right, more video game shit. Alright, here's the thing. Talk about, like, new and old first-person shooter games, because there's, like, a difference. The more classic first-person shooter games have a certain thing to them. They'll have, I don't know, I guess, I'd like to say that they're more colorful, but that's not always true. One of the things I think that makes, an old, like, classic first-person shooter game is, you have a colorful array of enemies, different kinds of, monsters, or demons, or aliens, whatever the hell happens to be the enemy. They have some pretty cool and creative shit there. It's classified also by, getting a bunch of guns, a bunch of new ones, and having a full arsenal of weaponry at your disposal to cycle through, and of course there's some other classic elements like getting key cards or keys or, certain colored keys and stuff for doors, and fighting through hordes of enemies, fighting a boss at the end of a section, stuff like that. I don't know. That stuff's all pretty cool, all first-person shooters like the old ones. The only problem is that the controls were always a little awkward. That way to aim, there's a lot of auto-aim going on because it was hard to make it so you could move and aim at the same time while being able to cycle through your weapons and navigate, everything. But for the most part, they worked out pretty cool. They have a lot of nostalgic value, I guess, mostly. But I really enjoy games, like Duke Nukem. Well, I guess you could say 3D. I had the 64 one that I played the most, which is a port of that. Or like, like you got like Turok, and GoldenEye was kind of an exception for the fact that you just fought a lot of soldiers, and you had a lot of, more realistic weaponry, but still, whatever, it's a really fun game, and still had the classic big arsenal, cool level design shit. And of course, it's one of those with great multiplayer, and it's got a pretty nice aiming system. But the thing is, like, different now. It's like nowadays with these newer ones, I will admit that they have a lot better controls, being able to walk around and aim, and you don't have to rely on, an auto aim. You shoot in the middle, and sometimes it'll kill, like a lot of times it'll be far enough away, but they shoot in the middle here, and it kills a guy way off in the distance. Like you're shooting in the middle, and it's like, oh, guy way over here died, guy up here died, guy up here died, guy underneath you died. And you're barely even, like, anywhere near them. But, like, new games now, like, you gotta be pretty close onto them, and you can do stuff, and you can really utilize, like, your snipers and other guns. One of the things, you don't have as many things, like, you really don't see the arsenal anymore, Nowadays, you see a lot of you carry 2 different guns at a time, you can sometimes swap them out and get more ammo, but you're sitting around with those same 2 guns all the time, and that's a little disappointing. You still have some neat weapons every once in a while, though. But another thing is that, like, a lot of them, mainly the Call of Duty games, I guess, is what I'm saying, is they're very popular. But you go around and fighting soldiers, and that's mainly what you do, is kill other foot soldiers with different guns. They're more like, supposed to be more modern guns, real guns, so they're not real interesting and a whole lot different. So they're not as fun to play around with, and the, I don't know, the levels aren't great on there. It's a lot of just, army shit. And while that can be fun, it's nice to have something a little different. I don't know. I just kind of noticed some of those differences, and like, the colors and stuff are usually, it was a more vibrant and fun, adventurous type of thing with, older games. And you go through all these crazy places. But there are some newer ones that do it too, like, Gears of War is alright, like Halo. And the new Duke Nukem, Duke Nukem Forever, that game is pretty good, even though it kind of is more like a newer first-person shooter. It's still cool. So I don't know, I just thought I'd kind of mention some of those. I could probably go into a bit more detail, but I just kind of wanted a brief thing like that to mention it, because whatever, I talk about it anyway, and I needed more episodes, so I'll just round out the season a bit. Well, that's all I really had to say about first-person shooters, but stay tuned for more video game shit, because more's coming. More's just gonna be there anyway. Because that's just what I do. Later.